Hey, thanks for stopping by. Are you running ads and not able to scale? Or are you running ads and are stuck at, let's say, 1.5x or 2x ROI? And your manager, your team wants 3x, 5x, 7x results. Okay. Hi, my name is Tapa Jyoti. I have been in the performance marketing domain for 16 plus years, and I have designed this three-in-one performance marketing bundle to get rid of this trial phase as soon as possible. What I can promise you is you are going to have 3x jump in conversions, be it leads or sales. You will have 3x growth in 90 days, okay? 90 days. Now, uh, I have designed this bundle with a lot of things in mind, and it sort of is my entire experience of 16 plus years now, consolidated into a 3-hour course, which consists of A to Z of Google search, then Google broad automation, and then Meta catalog sales, plus brand recall campaigns of how to get your brand mentions more and more. And we all know that is all very much important in AI search and LLMs. So, to start with, what is performance marketing? Performance marketing is an evolved version of paid marketing, okay, where we talk only about outcomes, okay, sales, leads, and then we go to ROAS or CAC or the customer acquisition cost and LTV, which is a lifetime value. So, if you ask me personally, in performance marketing, we should not even talk of leads or sales. We should talk only about CAC and LTV. Okay, but yeah, if as long as you are not able to improve CAC and LTV, maybe leads or sales are something that you should be talking about. But yeah, there are a lot of marketers who get the difference between paid marketing and performance marketing. There are a lot of media buyers who still think that they are in the same domain, which is kind of true, but because performance marketing is really a very specialized form of paid marketing, and we kind of have to do most of the heavy lifting. Okay, so with this bundle, which includes Google Search, Broad Emission, and Meta, I have also now included landing page designs, which is the sort of there are four case studies. Okay, these case studies will help you understand how to basically do CRO. Okay, conversion rate optimization, CRO and LPO, and both these things you can say they are a part of on-page SEO, but to be very honest, CRO and LPO they actually are about 70% of what your paid ads will do. Because we know after so many years that whatever paid campaigns you run, they are only about what 30% of the results. The rest 70% is actually the PMF, okay, which is the product market fit, and which includes the CRO and the LPO. And then, of course, there is the product, the price, the positioning of the product, and all these things. So, uh, these bonus landing page designs. They are of the best converting landing pages I have seen so far. Okay, the first two case studies are for e-commerce, pure e-commerce B2C. It can also apply to low AOV digital products, something like mine. And uh, these are two landing pages which are doing very well. One of these pages, as I've spoken about, they have done like around 30 lakh sales. Okay, Indian rupees 30 lakh sales in the past 6 months. So, and I personally know this guy, and I have also bought his course. It was a data analysis course. So, apart from this, there is one more e-commerce landing page, which is AI agents, and that is a even better landing page. Like you just have to replicate the landing page, and you literally have to go by the book. Okay, whatever I tell you in the video. Okay, above the fold, first scroll, second scroll, and the entire case study is about studying the landing page, what it does, why it does what it does. Okay, and there are two e-commerce B2C landing pages, and then there are two landing pages, which is like a two-in-one case study of B2C lead gen. Okay, and this is a big part of what I have been doing for the past 11 years now, where I run lead gen campaigns, but we know that lead gen is something which is much more uh, delicate than e-commerce. Okay, because e-commerce, when you get a sale, you know that's a result. So, okay, everyone's happy. Uh, then the challenge is scaling. In lead gen, there is the CAC and there is the conversion window. And then after a month or so, you come to know that, okay, these leads didn't work, these leads worked, why it didn't work. And then you have to go back to the drawing board and again make changes to a landing page. So, the point of giving this landing page case studies is to sort of skip all that trial phase. Okay. And then there is a final case study of a B2B landing page, which I have been testing for the past 3 months now. This landing page, it made around $50,000 in the past 3 months. Okay. We all know that it's B2B, so it's going to be, you know, high AOV. Uh, the conversion rate was extremely low. Okay. I was surprised. The conversion rate of the leads to sales were extremely low. But what we did realize was since it's B2B and it's only supposed to be corporate leads, uh, a 1% or a 2% conversion rate is usually more than okay, to sort of hit your CAC targets and your usually CAC targets because in corporates you don't have an L2V. That's like that completely goes to the after sales service team. Okay, now coming back to the core bundles. Okay, now these bundles. So the case studies, the landing page case studies are for 2 hours duration. Uh, and the core bundles are somewhere in the range of 3 hours duration. So I have covered everything from the starting of how to create the campaigns, how to implement the tracking, all the way up to publishing the campaign. Okay, and it involves a lot of settings. Okay, what like where to click, where not to click, how not to fall into the location settings trap. when you are setting up your keywords, which keywords to choose, how to choose those keywords. So it's kind of a beginner to advanced, and what match types to choose. Okay, that's the A to Z of Google search, and that's the first course in the bundle. And then we move on to the how to write the ad copies, how to use DKI, okay, which is dynamic keyword insertion, okay, and how to completely train yourself to completely ignore the ad strength that Google tells you, which is kind of BS coming from Google because Google wants to spend your money and they are the greediest kid on the block. Okay. Uh, like Google is worse than Meta. Okay, Meta does far better. But but yeah, so you have to deal with it. Like you have to adapt to it. And with more and more AI and all these things, just write your ad copies manually when you start with, and then you can ask the AI to make changes on that, maybe improve. Okay, because when results start coming, the AI will automatically understand what is working. So, rocket science there. Ad copies, how to write FOMO based ad copies, how to use DKI, how to which headlines to pin. Okay, if your ad strength shows poor, let it be poor. Okay, I'm telling you again, there is no such thing as a poor ad copy when you have a higher on page conversion rate and a lower CTR. Okay, so this is kind of the secret that I'm giving away on this video. Uh, well, people who work with me, they come to know why I say what I say. Is if you have a lower CTR and a much higher on page conversion rate, it means your traffic quality is much better. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you have a CTR of only 3% and you have an on-page conversion rate of 7 to 8%. Okay, that's gold. Okay, so you are basically training the algorithm what kind of traffic you want, and that is the uh, kind of secret of how to train the algorithm faster, and that is what we get into in this bundle. Okay, so after the A to Z Google search, the second course is about Google Broad Emission. So that is a little bit advanced, where we talk about uh, how to use broadband. So there are many marketers even now in 2025, and it's a little bit unfortunate that they say that broad match is bad and all these things. Look, Google will always find ways to spend your money. Okay, that is kind of what they do. You are the one who have to train the algorithm faster. Okay, not restrict the algorithm, and that is a part of this entire bundle is how you sort of you've seen those pictures of AI finger and the human finger coming together like this. Okay, like this. One is the AI finger and one is the human finger. That is the very commonly used you know how commonly used image of how AI and humans come together. Uh, in this bundle, we are actually doing that. Okay, we are actually training the algorithm much faster and with less resources. Okay, less resources means less time and less budget. Okay, so it involves a lot of deep diving into search term audit, how to do search term audit, how to identify patterns of search terms which doesn't suit you. And again, here I have talked to a lot of marketers, even my own teammates. Like some of them, when they see search term audit, they are like, ah, it's boring. Like when I look at search term audit, and I'm not an alien or something, but when I look at search term audit, a search term report, when I look at a search term report, a search term report is not a bunch of phrases and numbers with CTR and conversion rate and impressions and clicks and all these. No. Okay. When I look at search term report, I visualize what the user is thinking when that person is typing in that search term. Okay. And in this context, I would just like to tell you that the algorithm, which sort of tracks each and every user, okay, through this device of yours, uh, they know everything about you and the users who are coming to your website and you're seeing your ads. So, yeah, they know much more, but they don't know how to use it for your business. Okay. So, that's what we are going to learn. Uh, how to identify patterns, how to use broad match along with a huge negative list. And that negative list is, I remember the record longest negative list I have made for one campaign was 5,500 keywords long. Okay, 5,500 keywords, and it took me 14 working days to get to that volume of negatives. And what's interesting is that out of those 5,500 keywords, 30%, 30% were phrase match natives. Okay. So we all know that is a secret, but how to do that? Okay. How to always start with phrase match negatives? Like what? Phrase match negate. Okay, if you are uh, if if you're selling something low AOV, then you should negate how. Okay, so but if you are let's say a pharmaceutical company who is uh, who who are selling medicines for women, let's say, okay, and there would be one smart marketer who will come and say, okay, let's negate men. No, you can't negate men because women includes men. Okay, so what you do is how to create the negative list. So try to understand this. When you are using broad match, broad emission, and you are shooting for the moon, which is you are literally shooting for a 3x conversion in 90 days, you cannot think like it's 2020. Okay, you have to think now. So the way you do that is in this particular example, which I just took, you take out the names of the diseases what men have. Only men have. Women can't have those diseases. Okay. Take out that list. Use ChatGPT. Use Google. Use AI mode. Okay. Okay. It's all available on the internet. You take out those diseases and you phrase negate all those diseases. Okay, that's how you make a negative list. Okay, why? Because it's very low probability that a woman will search for a disease which affects only men. Okay, now I go back. I'll take one more example. So this is one question which I got asked in an interview with an agency last year, and it was a very interesting question. And it took me a few minutes to actually answer this. So uh, it's very interesting thought experiment. Is there's a kindergarten school. Okay, I mean not exactly a kindergarten. The school teaches up to K-12. Okay. No, sorry, K-10. It teaches up to K-10. And they started out with, they wanted to scale. So they create the negative list. So try to understand this. When you are using broad match, broad emission, and you are shooting for the moon, which is you are literally shooting for a 3x conversion in 90 days, you cannot think like it's 2020. Okay. You have to think now. So the way you do that is in this particular example, which I just took, you take out the names of the diseases what men have. Only men have. Women can't have those diseases. Okay. Take out that list. Use ChatGPT. Use Google. Use AI mode. Okay. Okay. It's all available on the internet. You take out those diseases and you phrase negate all those diseases. Okay. That's how you make a negative list. Okay. Why? Because it's very low probability that a woman will search for a disease which affects only men. Okay. Now I go back. I'll take one more example. So this is one question which I got asked in an interview with an agency last year, and it was a very interesting question, and it took me a few minutes to actually answer this. So uh, it's very interesting thought experiment. Is there's a kindergarten school, okay? I mean, not exactly a kindergarten. The school teaches up to K-12, okay? No, sorry, K-10. It teaches up to K-10, and they started out with they wanted to scale. They they implemented broad match, but then when they made the negative list, they put all the alphabets, all the English alphabets in caps in phrase negative. I'll repeat myself. This K-12 or K-10 school, when they made a negative list, they took all the alphabets of English A to Z individually, put them in phrase match negatives, but they put only the caps in phrase match negatives. They didn't put the small case in negatives. Okay, why? Interesting thought, because when you are running a school, your consumers are children, but you don't want children to find you. You want their parents to find you. Okay, and when parents search in Google, they rarely use caps. Okay, they are mostly just typing it on their phone, and the phone kind of autocorrects it. So that's how you make negative lists. So all this is discussed in great detail. Okay, that's and then it's there's also a strategic angle to it, that how to set your TCPA, what budget to use. Okay, even if you are small budget, believe me, I have run broad match on campaigns, on search campaigns, on Google accounts which are running only search. Okay, only search campaigns, nothing else. No PMAX, no demand gen, no YouTube, nothing else. All other campaigns are shut down, only search, and we have been able to grow the account 3x in 45 days uh, by using this combo, okay, which is a combo of Google search, Google broad automation, which kind of includes experiments, Google experiments, and Meta brand recall and Meta ASC campaigns, okay. And these are not big spending accounts. Whenever I talk about broad match, people think that, oh, they must be spending 1 lakh per day. No, these accounts, they are spending like 5,000 rupees per day, 5,000 rupees per day. Okay, that's like 1.5 lakh in a month. That's not a big account. It's a small to medium account. Okay, so I have discussed all these examples. So that's the second course for you, Google Broad Automation. And then the third course in the core bundle is Meta ASC and also Meta Brand Recall Campaigns. So how to set your brand recall campaigns, how to run all these three campaign types parallelly, which is Google Search, Meta ASC, Meta Brand Recall. And then what you get is a 3x or 4x, or even you can get a 7x conversion in like 45 days. And I have screenshots in the landing page where we grew a lead gen account which were they had a OTP verified landing page. Okay, so either the phone number or the email had to be OTP verified to uh, count as a lead, and we did it not for India, we did it for Europe and Gulf. Okay, and all the rich countries, by the way, all the UK, Germany, France, all the Nordic rich countries, all the rich Gulf countries. We didn't even look at Italy or Spain or Portugal and all those, all those poor countries like uh, which can't afford a $10,000 or $11,000 course. Okay, so Meta brand recall, which is a very sweet campaign. It doesn't spend much. Okay. It focuses on people who will remember your brand, which is important because that will have a knock on effect on your brand search volume. Okay. And those brand search keywords or the brand search volume will be picked up by your brand search campaigns. Okay. Just for the record, I always recommend brand and non-brand in separate campaigns. Where brand, I usually recommend impression share and phrase and negative. And non-brand, I usually recommend is broad and TCPS. But yeah, there is a way to run broad, and that's what we have discussed here. So these are the three courses in the core bundle, and then you have the landing pages which I discussed earlier. So yeah, uh, my LinkedIn ID is also there in the Know Your Mentor section. You can always hit me up for any questions you have. And yeah, I wish you all the best and happy scaling with performance marketing. Okay, remember, AI is a tide that you need to ride and not let it ride you. Thank you. Have a great day.